Brother Alex, so how did your conversation with George Janko shape your mission in evangelization, especially to the influencer generation?
So that's, after the James White debate, I think the George Janko is the next thing that put me even on another level. So I think the George Janko is probably the biggest thing that I've ever done. It was the George White debate, James White debate, and then being on George Janko's show. And yeah, that opened me up to just a newer audience. And what I learned from that is that there are so many non-Catholic Christians that are very sincere, and they're willing to learn, they're willing to know, they're willing to take an honest, sincere, objective look at the Catholic Church and on what the Catholic Church has to offer. And George Janko is a great guy. He's a great person, a beautiful man. He treated me so well. He treated Jonathan so well. It was like we knew each other forever. We were like brothers, and we have a good friendship now. We talk every once in a while. To this day.
Wow.
And what I learned is that the best way to reach Protestants is you have to do everything with love and charity. You have to be, because if you're not loving, if you're not charitable, they're not going to care what you have to say. So be sincere in your love and your charity. Don't fake it. Don't just pretend to be nice because you want to look good. You have to know. You have to really, truly, and honestly want the best for that person. And the reason that you're saying these things to them is just because out of love, because you're doing it out of love. I just learned that the best way to really help people and the best way to change minds and convert hearts is not to argue for the sake of arguing, but to remember that it's a work of love. It's a work of mercy. Instructing the ignorant is a work of mercy, and do it with charity in order for it to bear fruit. I think that talking to George Janko and then also talking to Ruslan, and Ruslan was the one that put me in touch with George Janko. That kind of really opened me up to the Protestant audience. There's a great Protestant audience that really likes me and really appreciates me and respects my stuff because of the James White debate, Ruslan and George Janko to the Protestant world. And I feel like I might be becoming kind of like a bridge between like the Catholic world and the Protestant world. I just thank God. I think that's just a beautiful thing that he allowed me, to do that. And yeah, I hope to talk to, I'm going to be talking to George again, soon. And Ruslan is I consider him a really good friend of mine. And just talking to more brothers, more of the separated brethren, and having with them, with sincerity and truth.